The only me is me. Are you sure the only you is you?
So, it's been about a year since PT took the world by storm on PlayStation 4 and spooked the majority of gamers into a fetal position. I was among the many that downloaded it right then and there when it was first announced. I'm usually a cold stone when it comes to horror games as well as films, but it even got to me for a while, and it wasn't just the death scene either. It was mostly the atmosphere and complete uncertainty of death. After you first witness it, there's no way to avoid it. It was one of the most brilliant marketing strategies that sadly led to nothing. But this isn't what we're here to talk about. I think there's something about this teaser that still flies over a lot of people's heads. Maybe because they're too busy obsessing over the Lisa death scene, maybe because they're too busy claiming the game is just a cheap spooky hallway simulator because of the Lisa death scene, who knows. I've been a Silent Hill snob since Homecoming released. That's how disappointing that title was. I gave Origins a pass though because I thought, oh, it's just a portable spin-off, the next main game might be great. But nope. Even so, I've come to realize I'm in the minority when I say Silent Hill 4 wasn't that bad. The gameplay was a huge misfire for the most part, but I think it had some great ideas and wonderful atmosphere. It was downright creepy and really gave you the feeling of being isolated for the majority of the game, just like its predecessors. However, it evoked those feelings in a somewhat different fashion. I'm not saying I completely forgive the gameplay, just that it was still a trip worth taking. So let it be known that I've completed Silent Hill 4 a good amount of times. But what does this have to do with PT? Well, when I first started playing it, before anyone discovered the ending, I was getting a strange sense of deja vu. First of all, I noticed the saving icon in PT looked familiar. More likely than not, it was intentionally supposed to look like the halo of the sun. My first impressions of PT were jarring, but we'll talk more about that later. What really took me by surprise as I was progressing through it, I realized the game is similar to Silent Hill 4. No, not that part. This part. One of the mechanics in Silent Hill 4 is your apartment, or Room 302. It served as your home base. You visited it for various reasons and it made you feel safe while trapped, especially since you regained health while spending time in it, at least for about half the game. The number of similarities between PT and Room 302 are pretty abundant. They are as such. PT's hallway and Room 302 are not very spacious. They don't give you that much room to roam. Both areas, while ominous, don't exactly seem so threatening at first. Just regular homes, right? You don't necessarily feel like you can die at any moment, so you feel safe. Well, for the most part. As you progress, that feeling of safety dissipates as the madness settles in. What starts with a couple of odd occurrences in the beginning, reality takes its toll completely as you get farther in either game. The radio in PT first informs you about some grisly murders that occurred.
When his 10-year-old son came to investigate the commotion, the father shot him too. His 6-year-old daughter had the good sense to hide in the bathroom, but reports suggest he lured her out by telling her it was just a game.
Just like how Henry was informed through the apartment's radio when the people he met were murdered at the hands of Walter.
In a forest near Silent Hill, the burned corpse of a 30-year-old male was discovered earlier today. The police have ruled it a homicide and are investigating.
You can attempt to make contact with the outside or leave, but it won't really do you any good. The way Lisa kills you is similar to the ghost scene in the beginning of Silent Hill 4. There's also the idea that you need to keep performing different tasks in the same area in order to make progress. Both bathrooms seem like pretty prominent rooms. There's a peephole in the wall you can look through. And last, but most certainly not least, and something I just can't help but think it is too similar to be a coincidence, the indescribable, blood-red living creature that has invaded your home and won't stop wiggling around. So, when the ending was revealed mere hours later, it just made sense to me. I was still shocked, of course, but it made me feel even more like I was onto something. Is it possible that Kojima and Del Toro took inspiration from Silent Hill 4, the most shunned and ignored title of the original franchise? I personally think so. Who knows if they'll ever talk about it again. I'm sure they at least got as far as doing some concept art or planning out the gameplay. Or why the name was plural this time. I was more than excited when I found out a Detail Maniac was finally going to work on a Silent Hill game, a franchise that used to be known for its attention to detail. PT showcased horror in a subtle and mature fashion.
Look behind you. I said, look behind you. Like you're sensing some strange spell. There was another.
It even employed some elements of surrealism in its design. While it does have some cheap tropes, it wasn't enough to shoo me away. It more than made up its faults with everything else it had to offer, something I hope a particular development team will keep in mind. Honestly, if PT was a testament to what they wanted to do with Silent Hill, I would definitely have been for it. All it really needed to do in order to please me was be better than this shit. I would not have paid full price for a game that was only PT extended, but I would certainly have enjoyed different scenarios to this and sprawled across the traditional length of a game, similar to Silent Hill 4. Remember the school in that short concept video? Maybe he would have made that an area you had to explore a la PT as well. The hallway was very compelling to me, and I think witnessing other types of structures and areas presented in similar ways by the likes of Kojima and Del Toro would have been amazing. The fact that it's been more than a year and people are still discovering little tidbits about it just shows you how captivating this teaser really is. Was this game going to finally be a true blue Silent Hill title that recaptures the essence of what Team Silent had? If PT was a testament to what the story and concept was going to be about, probably not. Maybe, but probably not. After all, PT's hallway was full of hauntings and Lisa seems to be some sort of ghost trying to kill you. Now, that doesn't sound like the first 3 Silent Hill games, but you know, that seems kind of familiar. The more I think about it, Hills might have been a great follow-up to Silent Hill 4. I think it would have turned out like that, but with refined and improved gameplay, so it's less tedious and nauseating.
You just ran into the fucking railing! Get down here! What the fuck are you doing?
But this is just assuming I'm right and they were really taking inspiration from that game in particular. Still, at this point, I'm over it. Konami is moving more towards gambling machines, and perhaps Kojima will one day partake a new path in game development. I would not be surprised if he starts his own studio and rounds up members of Koji Pro to take this trip with him. While it may take years, I think we'll see him tackle survival horror once again. So, here's to Hideo Kojima and his prospects. Thanks for watching. Oh, but Del Toro? I'm sure he's willing to work with Kojima again. I mean, sure, the only 2 games he was involved with got cancelled, but... oh, fuck.
Hello?
You've been chosen.
How do you like that, you sick little freak? You had it coming to you. These clothes are disgusting.